Hello, my name is Franz. Welcome to MyBoxingCoach. At the end of this video, you're going to be able to grasp some real basics, things that won't let you down if you execute them well. It's not fancy. I'm not promising to turn you into Muhammad Ali, Sugar Ray Leonard, Mike Tyson, you name it. What I'm promising you is that you'll have a good grasp of some of the basics that you need to get hold of. The stance, some mobility, some simple defense, and some simple punching skills, okay? Really simple stuff, but supremely effective. Before we get started, why don't you download your book, The Beginner Boxer Toolkit, join the thousands of others who've downloaded this book. Into your inbox, you get all kinds in there, from the best mindset, how to set up your own home gym, the 10 core basics, 5 building blocks of power, 7 steps to speed, all of the stuff around heavy bag work, shadow boxing. There's lots in there. There's a link down below and there will be a link at the end. Okay, let's get started. I want to whistle through this really quickly, okay? So, first thing, the stance, how we stand in boxing. I'll give you 7 steps to get to a decent stance. I haven't got any lines on the floor, but we can explain. If you're right-handed, you're an orthodox. If you're left-handed, you're southpaw. The only difference is everything's the same, except one is opposite of the other. So if you're orthodox, you lead with your left leg. If you're southpaw, you lead with your right. I'll demonstrate in orthodox. Step 1, step back with your right leg. Step 2, pivot your front foot to 45 degrees. Step 3, bend your knees. Step 4, hands up. Step 5, turn your palms in. Step 6, drop your chin down and look through your eyebrows. Step 7, just come up on the balls of your feet. That's the basics of your stance. I'm not going to whistle on about it. Simple things. Line goes on the floor from the toe to the heel. Toe on the front foot, heel on the back foot. My shoulders point roughly towards where the threat is, and my hands are in a good guard position. That's the basic stance. 7 steps to a stance. So you've got the stance, okay, but everything's dynamic. So let's go with learning 4 directions of movement. Forwards, backwards, left, right. When we want to go forward, simple push off the back leg, front leg lifts, and we step there. Right? Distance between the feet stays about the same. When you're moving forwards and backwards, make sure you don't lose the line. The line always goes from the toe on the front foot to the heel on the back foot. When you're going backwards then, little push off that front leg, and then we step back there. Okay? So forwards, push off the back leg, front leg lifts. Backwards, push off the front leg, back leg lifts. When you're going forward, be careful not to heel and step. You don't want your heel up like that, so we're not stepping forward. We're pushing forward, there. And when you're going backwards, when you push off that leg, avoid letting that front foot go pointed. Not great for balance. And again, all the time, make sure you retain the line on the floor going from the toe to the heel. If you're going to go right, push off that leg lifts, and we step across there. Okay? We're going left, push off that leg lifts, and we go across there. In all of these directions, you don't want to step and drag. No, don't step with the back leg and drag. When we're going that way, don't step across first and drag. I always think it's better to propel yourself in any given direction, so there's always that momentum to push. Okay. If you've got your stance, you've got 4 ways of movement. Well, let's enhance those 4 ways of movement. Learn 2 simple skills. Number 1, the pivot. If I'm going to pivot that way, I push off that leg and I pivot across. Again, line on the floor will go from the toe to the heel. If I'm going to pivot that way, I push off that leg and I pivot across. Pivot right, pivot left. Now let's think about the rear foot pivot. So if I'm going to pivot that way, little push off that leg and we go across there. If I'm going to pivot that way, little push off that leg and we go across there. Pivot left, pivot right, pivot left. Okay? The rear foot pivot is great to hold the centre of the ring. The front foot pivot allows you some really good options defensively. But think about it, you've got your 4 movements, and then if you add a pivot in with those movements, push back, pivot left. Push back, pivot right on the rear foot. Push forward, pivot left. Push right, pivot left. You get the point. All of a sudden those simple 4 movements have become many more. I don't know the numbers. But you've got some good basic footwork there. There's some footwork. What about defence? I want to keep this as simple as I possibly can. Think of how many punches you're going to stop hitting your head or hitting your body just by keeping your arms in a good guard position. Right? Someone said to me the other week, number 11, that's quite a nice way of thinking about your guard. There's lots of different ways, we can go all kinds of things. People talk about Philly shell or peekaboo or all of these things. Just keep your hands up. Good guard position. You're going to stop, I don't know, 20, 30, 40% of punches hitting you just by keeping your hands there. You know, you can keep them a bit higher there. Doesn't matter. That's a good defence. Keep your hands up. Add in the duck. Right? Good little movement to avoid straight shots and hooks to the head. Guard position. Duck. So as we're moving forwards, duck. Backwards, duck. Pivot, duck. Forwards, pivot. You get the point. Just keep the hands up. Tons of other defences to learn. This is called boxing basics. These are fundamentals. Then move on to our punches. Well, if you're talking about basics, just master the straight shots. Do the straight shots really, really well. Jab, so push from the front leg, hips rotate, straight out, straight back. Accelerated along the same line, out and back. You know, I've come up with 7 variations of a jab. Just learn one, learn it well. Bang. And if we combine a jab with a duck, we've got a jab to the body, jab head, jab body, hands high, jab head, jab body. The jab, essential punch. If I'm a right-handed person, if I was to get in a boxing ring for a fight and someone said you can only use one hand, I would use my lead hand, I would use my left hand, my less dominant hand. I can do more with it. The jab is fundamental. And the backhand brings some power to the game. Drive off the back leg, hips rotate, full drive of the punch straight to the target, hands nice and high, and back. Bang. There. Driving off that back leg, you're driving power into the shot. So you've got 2 shots there, 1, 2, 1, 2. Straight out and straight back, 1, 2. 2 straight punches. So then think about combining those punches with the movement. Think about the complementary skills. So when I trigger a jab, I can push off the front leg, hips rotate. So I can move backwards and go, 1. Right? Going to move forwards, jab, bang. Jab, bang. Straight out, straight back. Do the 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. Combining the punches with the movement. 2 principles around all of that. Number 1, be fault awareness. I pointed out faults with movement back and forward, front foot pointing, losing the line. Well, think about the other simple things. When you punch, don't let your head come up in the air. Really common for beginners. When you punch, don't let the other hand drop. Because people are focusing on this hand, people right at the outset of their boxing journey, they're not used to someone saying, hold your feet like this, do this, do this, do this, do this. To someone like me, or if you're more experienced, it's really simple. You've developed the muscle memory. To beginners, all kinds of things go wrong. So we're going to throw the right hand, don't let that come down there. Don't under-rotate, you're losing length on the shot. Fault awareness, be aware of the faults of each individual skill. Because when you start putting those skills together, any fault will magnify in the next skill. And the final thing to think about, deliberate repetition. There is no substitute to just doing this stuff over and over and over again. Do it right, get on with it. Get in the stance, work the drills, keep doing the repetition. Good quality, deliberate repetition will make you better. There we go. Whistle stop tour of the basics. Subscribe. Don't forget and download your book. Should be a link over here somewhere. That'll be emailed straight to you, and it'll be something you refer to time and time again. My name's Fran Sands. I'll see you in the next video.